The calm after the sprinting storm? Not a bit of it. This was going to be a very dramatic stage. Number 12 of La Vuelta. After the sprint, the previous day, had seen Caden Groves, after what was one of the slowest days so far, come through for the quick men at the very last. No change overall. The gap still the same between Evenepoel, Roglic and Mas, going into a day with a big mountains test, but only at the very end of it. Rolling terrain up until that point, high temperatures once again, and a bit of a carnival atmosphere, not least on the Quick-Step Alpha Vinyl bus, with news that Julian Alaphilippe was not too seriously hurt, nothing broken, a dislocated shoulder and ligament damage. He should be back. Evenepoel rolled out, smiling in the red jersey. He was to be upset through the day, but how would he go? Down the coast they went, with the big climb at the very end defining the day. Save for the fact that it was made for a breakaway, who would fancy it? Plenty is the answer. In the end, only 4 teams did not make the break. It was huge, looking like the peloton itself. 32 riders managing to pull away with a chance of glory. Well, it was too big to go right to the line. Battistella finished runner-up on 2 stages, decided he was going to roll the dice with 65 kilometres to go. Nobody was tempted to join him. Doing a lot of work out there were Alpecin de Koenig, Tamino and Vermeersch, working for Jay Vine, and the terrain here working its magic again, sometimes black magic, I think you might say. Evenepoel on the deck this time, remounting, not happy, issuing his complaints. And meanwhile, Battistella issuing a couple of oaths as well. Why didn't anyone come and join me? Well, sometimes you just have to do it for yourself, and you only have to ask Evenepoel about that. How would he respond to the inevitable attacks that would come on the final climb? And so it began immediately after the intermediate sprint. In the break, Fabro was working for Kelderman, doing a great job for Bora Hansgrohe, but as the pace picked up, it was having a big cost. Jan Palance, one of the best placed, was starting to struggle. Meanwhile, Jumbo-Visma, Roglic's team, started to rain down blows upon Evenepoel, the leader. Movistar joined the fun. Evenepoel, with teammates gradually running out, had his own battle. Setting fair, out front, Elie Gesbert from the break. And Jay Vine, maybe the fatigue of winning 2 stages of this race so far, finally taking a toll. So it got selective out front. Palance was holding on to enhance his position overall. Kelderman was riding well. Carapaz still involved, while the battle amongst the GC men raged on. Constantly questions were asked. One man had the answer for the stage win, and that was Richard Carapaz. Coming here as team principal for Ineos Grenadiers, questions had been asked of him, and indeed the pecking order changed within his team. A stage win, well, that will quieten down some of those words. Frustration and relief in equal measure as Carapaz took the stage. But what about those in his wake, and indeed the GC battle that was raging on up the mountain? Kelderman moving into the top 6 with this performance on the day. Good finish for Soler as well. Meanwhile, Evenepoel. Well, this was all about making a statement at the very last. But he picked himself up out of the saddle and started to charge for home. Enric Mas and Primoz Roglic close at hand. Not that far away either. Carlos Rodriguez, Spanish champion. But Evenepoel it was that crossed the line first. As if to say, I may have been bruised, but I am not bowed. Neither is Richard Carapaz. Getting his mojo back, and 4 stage wins a potential for him deeper into this race. Carapaz took it ahead of Kelderman, who moves into the top 6 as we said. Soler third ahead of Palance, who recovered brilliantly. Brenner, Gesbert, Jay Vine finished 7th ahead of Hagen, Shaw and Fabro, who'd done a lot of pacing for Kelderman on this climb. Quick finish, most certainly one of the fastest schedules that we have run after the slowest the day prior. What is left for this man? Evenepoel leads by the same margin as the day began, despite the fall. 2 minutes and 41 ahead of Roglic, 3 minutes and 3 ahead of Mas, but Kelderman up to 6th and Palance up to 9th overall. Well, with high ground to come in the mountains, anything can change. What about stage 13? Unlucky for some? Well, quite possibly. They run down all the way to the line. An intermediate sprint and a kick up at the end. You have to ride your luck in this race. Let's hope everyone stays lucky as we take on stage 13.